This is the first piece of work that made me money online back in 2007. Since then, I have made several thousands of dollars online. So in this episode, we are going to talk about 9 ways of how you can make money online. And I'm also going to rate those 9 ways in terms of the upfront investment required and the ease of getting to your first $1,000. So let's get started. The first one is content writing. And this has to be my favorite one because this is in fact what got me started to making money online back in 2007. And I love this one because the upfront investment required is extremely low. You could literally get started with a laptop and an internet connection. In fact, back in the day, I did not even have my personal laptop. I used to scout for internet cafes back in India, write some articles, send them off and get paid. So in terms of upfront investment required, I'd say 5 out of 5. In terms of the ease of getting to your first $1,000, I'd rate this at a 4.5 out of 5. You could make your first $1,000 in the first month itself. I have paid writers $500 for 1,000 words. I've also paid writers $100 for 1,000 words. This really depends on your skill as a writer and also, of course, on your skill of sales, marketing, and negotiation. So like everyone else, I have done my fair share of Fiverr and Upwork, but I have also found clients within Facebook and LinkedIn groups where the internet entrepreneurs hang out. The second one is copywriting. Copywriting is very similar to content writing in that it's writing, but it adds a few more flavors of sales, marketing, persuasion, and psychology into it. So if you are someone who really enjoys sales and marketing, this could be one of the best ways for you to make money online. The upfront investment required is minimal. You could literally read a couple of books like this or this to get a flavor of copywriting and you can get started. So I rate this at a 4.5 out of 5 for upfront investment. In terms of getting to your first $1,000, I'd say this is a 5 out of 5 because you can charge a lot more than you charge for content writing, for copywriting, because it's so much more valuable, and you can therefore get to the first $1,000 within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks. The next one is graphic design. Graphic designers are in demand to create logos, brand kits, NFTs, merchandise, you name it. So if you are someone who's into design, this might be the way you want to make money online. In terms of upfront investment required, if you are a beginner and just getting started, you probably don't need the advanced Adobe software, but you probably do need a Canva Pro subscription. So I rate this at a 4 out of 5 for upfront investment. In terms of ease of getting to the first $1,000, I rate this at a 4 out of 5 as well, because it really depends on what sort of projects you pick up. If you pick up a brand kit design assignment, you'll get to the first $1,000 really, really easily. But if you are picking up 10 logo designs, that could take time for you to get to the first $1,000. The next one is website design. And I love this one because if you are someone who's talented in Java or Node.js, out of the gate, you can charge over $1,000 to make someone's website. However, if you are a beginner and just getting started, you could look into something like Wix or WordPress, which makes designing so much more easy. However, you do need to spend time and energy into learning how to web design. And if you want to earn the top dollars, you do need to learn some programming, which is why I rate the upfront investment as a 3.5 out of 5. In terms of ease of making your first $1,000, though, I believe that this is really easy. I rate this at a 5 out of 5 because you can build a couple of websites, charge $500 for it, get it done within a matter of weeks. The next one is editing. Creators all around want to outsource editing, and both podcast and video editing are growing markets. However, editing could be intimidating if you are just starting out. Upfront investment-wise, I'd rate this at a 3 out of 5 because you need to spend a considerable amount of time and energy into actually learning editing. You also need a high specification machine if you are using something like DaVinci Resolve, and if you are using something like Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, you still need to pay the license fees. I personally use a software called dissect, which is really easy to edit with, but it does charge you $30 per month subscription. So if you want to get started with a relatively low cost option, dissect might be one of your better bets. On the other hand, getting to the $1,000 is relatively easy. I would rate this at a 4.5 out of 5 because for a 3-minute footage out of a 60-minute video, people can charge up to $200 to $300. So you could get to the first $1,000 really fast. I'm not rating this at a 5 out of 5 because I want to acknowledge that as a beginner, you have a steep learning curve if you are just starting out. The next one is social media management. Social media management is something that comes naturally to a lot of people. In terms of upfront investment required, I would rate this at a 4 out of 5 primarily because if you are offering your services as a professional, you probably want to do a couple of courses that teach you about the analytics, research, and so on. On the flip side, getting to your first $1,000 is really easy. Social media managers can charge anywhere between $100 all the way through to $1,000 depending on how engaged they are on the social media platform. If you pick up a couple of clients for $500 a month, you will get to the $1,000 mark really quickly. So in terms of ease of getting to your first $1,000, I rate this at a 4.5 out of 5. The next one is virtual assistants. Virtual assistants are also sometimes called online business managers. With virtual assistants, you could really start off with nothing and build up as you go along. So I rate the upfront investment at a 4.5 out of 5. The reason I'm not rating it at a 5 is because you do want to be focused on what are the friction points in your client's life and remove those. So you really need to understand your client and have a really good relationship and a rapport with your client. So by being a virtual assistant, you could make $1,000 in a month very easily. So I'd rate this also at a 4.5 out of 5. But obviously, this depends on what you do for your client and also how many hours you choose to work for your client in a given month. The next one is courses. This has to be one of my favorite ones as well, not only because I have a couple of courses for CV writing and career coaching, but also because this is the one that truly gets you into the realm of passive income. However, in terms of upfront investment, you need to invest quite a lot of time, energy, and money into building your system. You want to understand what course you could sell, how you will get customers for the course, how you will collect payments, how you will distribute out your course, and so on. So I rate this at a 2.5 out of 5. On the flip side, though, for your very first course, if you build it really well, you could charge over $1,000. So in terms of the ease of getting to your first $1,000, I'd rate this at a 4.5 out of 5. And the reason I'm not rating it at a 5 is because you need to figure out the system that will make $1,000 repeatable every month and then grow it from there. The next one is coaching and consulting. The internet right now is exploding with fitness coaches, health coaches, meditation coaches, career coaches, life coaches, you name it. However, to become a really great coach or consultant, you do need to have a lot of credible expertise in the domain. So, for example, I have a career coaching practice, but I have picked up a lot of what top performers do in their careers in a career spanning over 15 years. I do some data consulting on the side for companies, and I have really been in data for all of my career. I did a degree in economics, and then I have done data analysis throughout. That's 15 plus years of experience lending itself to making thousands of dollars in a matter of hours. So in terms of upfront investment required, I'd say this is at a 2 out of 5, primarily because you need to be an expert. However, once you are an expert, getting to your first $1,000 is easy. So the ease of getting to your first $1,000 is 5 out of 5. And I truly believe that everyone is an expert at something. If you have any more to add to this list, please drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and consider subscribing. It does really motivate me to create these videos. Thank you, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.